Hi, this is James Headley. Welcome back to the Living in Naples channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about why you should care about the scarcity of golf memberships in Southwest Florida, Naples and Marco Island in particular, even if you are not necessarily a golfer. As always, I appreciate you tuning into the channel, liking, subscribing, and sharing. And let's dig in on a topic that may not immediately strike you as common sense. First, the context is that there are very few memberships that are available right now in the Naples to or Marco Island, Naples, even up into Fort Myers area right now. It's waiting lists in the year, 2, 3 years. A lot of places have even closed their waiting lists because there is just no end in sight. And as a result, there's a big scramble, obviously, among those who are looking to move to the area and want to belong to a golf club as part of that Naples experience. So just know that that's the case. Those memberships that are out there in general are definitely not cheap. I just heard recently that Fiddler's Creek is actually going to a $300,000 initiation for their equity membership. That, to put it in context, just a handful of years ago, their equity membership was in the $50,000 to $60,000 range, and that's not atypical right now. So just know that if there are memberships, they're going to cost a fair amount on top of whatever you're paying for housing. And that point about Fiddlers, being a full equity membership, that's actually the exception rather than the norm generally across Southwest Florida, I've found. So, think about it. If you paid $50,000 for your membership and you're getting nothing, or maybe $100 or $1,000 back in an equity membership in name only, in that respect, in terms of the financials, you're going to be a little more likely to stay in place than you are to move on from those sunk costs. Now, if you tack on top of that the likelihood that if you had one of those memberships and you were financing your home in any part, that you were probably looking at a mortgage in the 3 to 4% range. So that's going to be even more of a double whammy in terms of folks wanting to stay in place. So those are just those some of the challenges that you're up against in terms of finding homes, in terms of inventory jumping up to pre-COVID levels. We're definitely seeing, as you would have seen in some of my other videos perhaps, more of a potential softening of the market a bit as we move away from what was a purely seller's market. But the days of homes staying on the market for 6 to 9 months are probably a long way off as well, just for these reasons I'm talking about today, among others. But I think the golf aspect of this is something that you shouldn't overlook, certainly. So what are your options? For golfers out there, I'd encourage you to check out some of my other videos talking about things like perhaps the best kept secret in Southwest Florida golf, for example, but also some other suggestions in terms of ways to most strategically go about it. And of course, reach out to me, and me and my team would be happy to work with you and find you the right spot for your particular needs, including on the golf course. Another option is to go the bundled community route, where that golf membership is part of your purchase and part of your HOA. But definitely see, again, some of my other videos for some insight on the pluses and minuses that you'd be looking at when it comes to bundled communities. Of course, the third option is for those that are non-golfers, or for those who aren't opposed to perhaps driving to a course that they join, but not living necessarily in that community. The non-golf course communities would certainly be an option. The Golden Gate Estates area of the Estates is one of the largest of those areas, with more opportunities there. No HOA, so again, you look at the pluses and minuses of that particular circumstance. And then lastly, of course, for a golfer, this might be the nuclear option, but think about the potential for purchasing outside of Southwest Florida. If you are not necessarily in the hotbed of golf, there may be more opportunities, and I'd be happy to talk with you about some of those options if if your heart isn't dead set on living in Marco or Naples, Fort Myers, Estero, or Bonita, for example. So I hope this is helpful to you. Just a little more perspective on what's going on in the market there, and some things that you should keep in mind and maybe think about. I'm happy to work with you one-on-one and discuss your particular circumstances. So please do reach out anytime. Of course, I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Until then, thanks again for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and I'll see you soon.